You ever notice how people tell you extremely personal things almost immediately? Not after months, not after trust is built, within minutes. Their childhood, their breakup, the thing they're embarrassed about, the fear they don't post online. And you're just sitting there thinking, I barely said anything. Here's the strange part. This doesn't happen to everyone. It happens to you. And by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly why, and why it's not random. Because it's not about what you say, it's about what people feel when they're around you. If this is your life, you're probably not the loudest person in the room. You're not performing, you're not trying to dominate conversations. You're observant, measured, calm on the outside, even when your mind is racing. And somehow, that makes people open doors they normally keep locked. You've likely been the therapist friend for years. The one who gets the 11:47 p.m. text. The one people sit next to when they're overwhelmed. The one they confess something to and then laugh nervously and say, I don't even know why I'm telling you this. But you do know. Or at least you feel it. There's something about you that makes people exhale. Now here's the part you usually don't admit. It can be heavy. Because while everyone feels safe unloading on you, you don't always feel safe unloading on them. You carry pieces of conversations for days. You replay your responses. You wonder if you said enough, or too much, or the wrong thing. You feel responsible for emotions that aren't yours. And sometimes you wish just once you can have a light, effortless, surface-level interaction. But people don't stay surface with you. They go deep. So what's actually happening here? There are 3 subtle signals you're giving off, probably without realizing it. The first one is silence. Not awkward silence, secure silence. When someone talks to you, you don't rush to fill gaps. You don't hijack the story. You don't immediately relate it back to yourself. Most people listen just enough to respond. You listen to understand. That alone lowers defenses. But here's the second signal, and this one is powerful. Your reactions are steady. When someone says something vulnerable, you don't flinch. You don't widen your eyes dramatically. You don't judge. You don't panic. Even if you're surprised internally, you stay grounded externally. And humans are constantly scanning for one thing. Am I safe here? Not logically, biologically. When someone senses they won't be embarrassed, corrected, or exposed, their nervous system relaxes. And when the body relaxes, the truth comes out. Now here's the third signal, and this one most people overlook. You don't compete. You're not subtly ranking stories. You're not trying to win vulnerability. You're not waiting for your turn to prove depth. There's no ego pressure around you. And that absence of pressure feels rare. Let me show you how this plays out. You're at a small gathering. Music in the background, people half on their phones, conversations floating everywhere. Someone sits next to you. You ask, how have you been lately? Not, what's up? Not, you good? But something slightly slower, slightly more intentional. There's a pause. Most people rush that pause. You don't. And that's the moment everything shifts. They start with something normal, work stress, school stress. Then their voice drops slightly. They mention feeling behind in life, or unsure about their relationship, or tired of pretending they're okay. And suddenly, this casual conversation isn't casual anymore. And it doesn't feel awkward to you, because you're not uncomfortable with depth. That's the difference. Most people avoid emotional intensity. You can sit inside it, calmly. But here's the perspective shift that changes everything. It's not that people overshare with you because they lack boundaries. They open up because your presence feels like relief. Relief from performing, relief from being on,
relief from pretending they have it together. You don't make them feel evaluated. You make them feel understood. And being understood without having to over-explain, that's rare. Now here's something you may not have connected before. You probably developed this ability early. Maybe you were the quiet one who watched everything. Maybe you learned to read the room before speaking. Maybe staying observant felt safer than being loud. So you became fluent in microsignals, tone shifts, facial tension, energy changes. You sense what someone is feeling before they label it. And when people feel that you get it without them working hard to explain it, they go deeper. But here's the important boundary. Just because you can hold emotional weight doesn't mean you're meant to carry it. This is where a lot of emotionally intelligent people burn out. They confuse being safe with being responsible. You are allowed to listen without absorbing. You are allowed to care without fixing. You are allowed to say, "That sounds really heavy," and let it stay theirs. Your calm presence is a gift, but it's not a contract. And here's something else. The reason this keeps happening to you is not because you're invisible. It's because you're grounded. In a distracted world, you're present. In a reactive world, you're steady. In a performative world, you're real. People feel that. They feel the absence of chaos, and they trust it. So maybe the better question isn't, why do people always tell me their secrets? Maybe it's, what kind of person do I have to be for people to feel that safe? That answer says more about you than you think. You're not loud, but you're impactful. You're not flashy, but you're grounding. And that kind of quiet strength, that doesn't just attract secrets, it creates safety. And that's rare.